I'm Alan Dale, and this is the We Are Tourism podcast in beautiful St. John's, Newfoundland. I want to tell you, I am really enjoying being in conversation with folks that are enjoying what they do. You can talk to people and their eyes light up when they talk about the services that they're providing. And on that note, why don't you introduce yourself? Tell us what you do.
Sure. My name is Michelle Myrick, and I'm one of the owners and operators of the Keeper's Kitchen Inn in St. Shots. I took a chance about 3 years ago now, just in COVID. I got the idea. Myself and my husband moved back home from Norway and took on the job of renovating my old family home. And we are called the Keeper's Kitchen because I grew up at Cape Pine and come from 6 generations of lighthouse keepers.
Wow.
So that's why we decided on the name, the Keeper's Kitchen. We are a 5-room inn, bed and breakfast, but we also provide gourmet-style evening meals for our guests, as well as different experiences. You know, we take people on hikes, we take them to see the remains of shipwrecks that are all along the coastline in St. Shots. And we also take people out foraging. Myself and my husband are also the chefs. So we really engage people in the local flora and fauna, and you know, the barrens, they're called the barrens surrounding us, but they are anything but barren. They are teeming with wildlife and with plants that are edible, and you can do amazing things with what's growing there.
St. Shots, where is
Yes,
that?
it's on the very midway on the Irish Loop, the most southern tip of the Irish Loop.
The most southern tip of the Irish Loop.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes. We are the most southeasterly point in North America.
Is that right?
That's right.
The most southeasterly point. Wow, it sounds amazing. And
Yeah.
how far is that from St. John's? About
2 hours drive.
a 2-hour drive.
Yeah.
Sounds like it's worth the drive.
Well, we believe so. Yes. It's and you know what? It's a really unusual landscape up there. So whether you're coming from the Trepassey side or you're coming from the St. Vincent side, a lot of people come to see the whales, or they come to see, you know, Mistaken Point, a heritage fossil site, UNESCO World Heritage Site. So whether you're coming, whatever direction you come up, you know, you're seeing trees and marshes, and you know, and then you come up to the barrens, and it's like you can see for miles,
Right.
and it's just a spectacular landscape in and of itself, you know.
Yeah.
And great for hiking, great for coastline hiking.
So you're in Norway, and
Yeah.
this draw back to Newfoundland happens.
Yes, very much
Talk
so.
to me about that strong drawback
Well-
and why.
Well, you know, I'd left the province about 15, 16 years ago to explore. You know, I had been actually working with Steel Communications, to be honest, before I left, and I wanted to see more of the world and travel a little bit. And, you know, when the pandemic hit, I was actually in Norway because I met my husband and we ended up getting married about 10 years this summer now. But during COVID, I really missed home. Even though I'd been gone for many, many years, I had a longing for home that I hadn't felt before. And it was a very big draw. So my husband was coming up for retirement age, and I said, what are we going to do? We were actually out on his sailboat one day in the summer of 2020, and I don't know if it was because we were on the water or if I was channeling something from above, but it was like my head just opened up and everything dropped in. The whole idea came all at once. Name, the way the place, how we would, you know, renovate the house,
Wow.
Everything came, the gourmet meals that we would do, all of it kind of came into one thought dump, like that
Right.
day out on the water. In fact, so quickly that we decided to go back into shore as fast as we could to sketch out, you know, the footprint of the house to see how many rooms do you think we could fit in, you know? How could we renovate it? Yeah, it was amazing, and haven't regretted it for a second. It was
Oh.
the best decision ever.
Beautiful story. Talk to me about what somebody might experience when they go. What do the rooms look like? What is the food all about?
Sure. Well, I mean, we are big travelers, myself and my husband. Between the two of us, we've traveled to over 120 countries. So, of course, that influences the way that we cook as well. But coming from the Newfoundland sort of tradition, as well as the Norwegian tradition, there's a lot of similarities between our cultures. You know, when it comes to things that grow on the land and the fish that we get from the sea, not a lot of difference. They get bake apples, we get bake apples. They have a cod fishery, we have a cod fishery. They have an oil industry, we have an oil industry. You know, there's a lot of similarities. So that shows up on the plate as well, you know, as well as local things that I take people out to forage and to learn about, you know. Like Labrador tea, it's everywhere. It's up every sweet Gale. It's everywhere up around our house and the property and the land. So it's exciting to take these kind of wild edibles and bring them into the plate. Then once you've been out and I mean, you're smelling them. The salty air is, you know, on your lips, and you're walking the barrens, and then to come back into the house and have a meal that's bringing all of these kind of elements to the plate, you know, and it just creates that sort of extra little experience to it. There's an extra connection because you've learned so much about what's happening in the area.
And the inn itself, talk to me about that. What does that look like when when you go inside?
A lot of people say they walk in, they feel like they're instantly at home because it's our house, it's our home. I mean, oops, I'm hitting the mic, but it's where we live as well. It's our home base. You know, we go back and forth to Norway, of course, but it is our home base, and you know, it is our home. It's a one massive table that we've put in. 12 people can sit at that, and that's where the magic happens, to be honest, you know, because we get maybe 50% locals, I mean Newfoundlanders and Labradorians, and 50% CFAs. And that in itself is a bit exceptional.
Right.
But when we have Newfoundlanders and come from a ways, tourists, right, sitting at the table, the conversations.
Must be beautiful.
It's incredible. We're downstairs, we have a commercial kitchen downstairs. We're downstairs preparing the food, and we hear the roars of laughter because, of course, Newfoundlanders love to talk, love to engage with other people, you know, and tell stories and tell jokes. So it's that kind of atmosphere that a lot of people sort of comment, you know, I can't believe I'm experiencing this in the middle of nowhere,
right? Yeah.
In a community of 38 people. That's all, just 38 people. And they had, you know, you drive and drive and drive, and I'm sure as a tourist they're thinking, are we ever going to get there? Because it's just all these barrens, you know?
Yeah.
And we're the first house when you come into the community, so we're easy to find. But it's a unique experience, I guess, and that's what people comment on. It's a unique experience, yeah.
I have to tell you, you make me want to take the drive down to St. Shots. Unbelievable the way you described, and the whole backstory to how you got there is as much a part of the whole experience that people.
It is. And I'm a musician as well, so we do house concerts too. You know, and if there's not a scheduled house concert, it's pretty often I get asked to, you know, take the guitar and sing a song at the end of the evening as well. So, like, that's more story. That's more cultural heritage coming to the table, you know? And again, like, if people can leave with a smile on their face and a full belly, because I guarantee you they leave with a full belly.
Not going away hungry.
No, we have dessert with breakfast. You get dessert with your breakfast at the Keeper's Kitchen. But homemade Danishes, and that's another thing that we are very adamant about. Everything's made from scratch. Everything. I make my own mayo, my own ketchup, my own mustard, my own jam, everything. I make my own everything, right? And we work really hard on the food, which I think is reflected in the kind of feedback and reviews that we get.
Well, there it is, folks. Worth the drive down to St. Shots. I want to tell you what a beautiful story that was. And this is the voice, this is the face of tourism, Newfoundland and Labrador. Thank you.
Thank you so much.